What's up, everybody? This is J Hub, and this is J Hub's Wrestling Pub, and I'm coming back at you with another Raw review. Well, since this is the Monday before SummerSlam, this was the going home show for Raw. And if I can get this damn camera to zoom in right, we'll go on with this. But first off, on Raw, it was Triple H coming out and basically announcing that he was going to be the guest referee for the Cena CM Punk feud or match on Sunday, the main event. Now, I think this is a bit of his ego getting in the way of his job, like Cena and CM Punk are getting at. But I think it's going to be a good idea. Either he's going to call it right down the middle, or he's going to pick a side. And it's going to be cool to figure out which side he picks. He also announced that Cena and CM Punk were going to be in singles matches, on Monday night. And Cena's match was directly after his promo. So after his promo was over, CM Punk comes out, and he has a few choice words for Triple H, and he basically tells him that he made a big mistake by putting himself in the middle of the match. And Triple H basically told him that he did it because he's going to get the result that he wants, which tells me he's going to pick a side. But I don't know. Tell me what you think, because that's what I think. Now, the next match on the card was, Cena had the match against Jack Swagger directly after the promo. Now, I thought this was going to be a squash match. Cena was going to pretty much, annihilate Jack Swagger. But for the most part, Swagger held his own for most of the match, until the end when, John Cena finally put together a couple of his moves and hit the attitude adjustment on Jack Swagger and ended up winning. But I thought it was a decent match. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. The next match on the card, actually after that match, they showed a classic match of Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect. Now, I know I'm going to show my age here, but I was actually watching this one on pay-per-view when it actually happened. So I thought it was a great match. It ranks up there in top matches of all time. And as you all know, Bret Hart ended up winning the Intercontinental Champion off of Mr. Perfect, and he went on to do great things, as you all well know, and he ended up being in the Hall of Fame along with Mr. Perfect. So that just speaks for itself. Now, next up, Alberto Del Rio has a promo in the back and basically calls Punk a coward for running out, and not defending his title at Money in the Bank when Mr. McMahon called Del Rio out there. He basically called him a coward. He said he's gonna show the people what would have happened to CM Punk if he had stayed, out there in the ring at Money in the Bank. So he did his little promo. It was pretty cool, and like I said, he basically said that he was a coward. So we'll see what happens to him, later on in that night. Next, R-Truth cuts this promo that I thought was hilarious. The interviewer asked him, I forget exactly what he asked him, but he started going into this rant about spiders. And I almost can't think of R-Truth as a heel. He's just freaking hilarious. He goes into this rant about spiders, that his grandma would fix spider stew, and the only one that would eat it would be Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy. He always talks about Little Jimmy. Freaking hilarious. And then he says that he's gonna squash John Morrison just like a spider. And that was the end of the promo. And it cracked me the hell up. But next on the card was The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. So Rey Mysterio, his music hits, and he's coming out to the ring, and his pyro's going off. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Miz comes and attacks his ass from the back. Like a coward. I mean, basically like a coward in my book. And he slams and slams and slams Mysterio's head against the little WWE, whatever you call it, statue thing or whatever of the WWE sign. And slams it and slams it and slams it again. Then Miz goes into the ring and he basically says, I want to referee. Excuse me. He makes a rant about not getting enough attention. Like he doesn't get enough attention anyways, and he wants to make a rant about not getting attention after he's been on all these shows, MTV, I think it was the Viewer Choice Awards or something like that, and he still wants more attention. So then after all that, he calls out, he says that he wants the referee to come out there and declare him the winner by forfeit because Rey Mysterio couldn't continue. So here runs out a referee, and he jumps through the ring in one end and out the other, and goes over to the announce booth and tells the announcer that Triple H is not going to allow Miz to win by forfeit, but he's going to have to go through another match. And there goes my Zoom again. Anyways, he tells him he's going to have to be in another match. And lo and behold, here comes Kofi Kingston. And, he's running in there, like he's going to whoop some ass. And it was a pretty damn good match. Him and The Miz are pretty evenly matched. So it went back and forth, and there for a while I thought Kofi Kingston was going to pull it off, but at the end, I don't forget who I'm talking about. No, at the end, shit. The Miz, how can I forget The Miz? At the end, the Miz hits the skull-crushing finale and ends up winning the match. But all in all, it was a pretty good match. They both were, like I said, well suited for each other, and it went back and forth pretty good. The next thing that happened was a CM Punk promo. It shows him walking down the hallway in the back, and somebody asked, the interviewer asked him what he thinks of Triple H inserting himself into the match, and he basically says Triple H is on an ego trip, which, I think is funny because CM Punk is also on an ego trip, and everybody knows it, but it was pretty cool. It was just a short little promo, and he also, he called Alberto Del Rio out, saying that he was no coward, and he was going to show exactly what would have happened at Money in the Bank if CM Punk would have stayed in the ring. And the next, there goes my Zoom again. Okay, anyways, the next match on the card was CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio. Now, of course, as y'all know, Alberto has the submission hold, the arm breaker. So at first it was back and forth, and then Alberto Del Rio starts putting the emphasis on the arm of CM Punk, and he almost gets the arm breaker on him a couple times, and CM Punk comes back and counters it, twice, and then at the end happened kind of quick. It was like nothing was happening, and all of a sudden, CM Punk uh, throws Alberto Del Rio off the ropes and puts him in the go to sleep and wins the match. So it was kind of like the ending was kind of weird, but the match was all right in my book. Um, and it pretty much built up Punk a little bit, and that first match with Cena and Swagger built up John Cena a little bit, to make him look strong going home into the pay-per-view. Now the next match on the card was the Beth Phoenix and Eve match. Honestly, this wasn't even a match. Beth Phoenix basically whooped the crap out of Eve, and Eve botched a couple of moves. I mean, there was 2 drop kicks. You could tell that she didn't even hit. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous. But at the end, the Glamazon puts her finisher on Eve and wins the match. And then she comes up and says that I'm getting tired of these basically Barbie doll divas doing their booty popping. She said there ain't gonna be no more booty popping. There ain't gonna be no more stink faces. There ain't gonna be no more splits. And she walks out of the ring, and she's going up the ramp. And then she says, "And Eve, I just wanted to ask you one question." And then Kelly comes up and broadsides her with the belt, knocks her down, and then they show Kelly and Eve in the ring staring down, Beth Phoenix. I just hope, and I hope to God that the match is going to be better at the pay-per-view, because that was awful. I give it like a 2 out of 10. It was that bad. Now the next one on the card was Dolph Ziggler versus Alex Riley. Ziggler comes out first with Vicky Guerrero on his side, and then Alex Riley comes out, and he makes a little comment about how Vicky Guerrero's breath smells like death, warmed over or something like that, and that was pretty funny. And then the match starts, and they're going at it pretty good. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Vicky Guerrero decides to interfere, and she slaps Alex Riley and gets Ziggler disqualified, which made no damn sense. I mean, I guess it does, since they're trying to break up Ziggler. Well, it looks like they're trying to break up Ziggler and Vicky, which is, I think, the best thing that could ever happen. So then, the match is over with. Alex Riley leaves, and then it's Vicky and Ziggler in there arguing back and forth. And Ziggler basically tells her that he's done, and she tells him that she's done, and then basically she's whining all the way to the back. Now next, they show this big recap from Money in the Bank till now. The whole thing of CM Punk winning the title, leaving, and Vince McMahon having, the championship tournament, and then, actually it wasn't Vince. Triple H had a championship tournament, because before that, Triple H relieved